Hello, my ladies. Welcome back to another episode of Celebrate You. Okay, so first of all, let's start by celebrating. My name is Moni Millares, and it's my honor to have you here. So let's take a deep breath in. Take a second. Close your eyes. Put your hands in your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now smile and ask yourself, what am I celebrating now? Woo! So that is beautiful. I myself, as in Monica, I am just celebrating that I feel like bubbly. I feel like my emotions are calm, I'm happy, I'm flowy. Yeah, and I'm even celebrating that, today is like the third episode, and in this episode I'm going to start, it's the very first episode of the series of Money with Money. I find that very funny. Yeah, but money with money. Why? E.g. as in money with me. Why? Like, why this series of episodes? Because money, cash, our financial lives, they are important. It's as simple as that. They've always been, and COVID reminded us that they are super important. And as well, when we went to school, nobody told us, they didn't teach us about personal finances. Maybe we should have had a class, but we didn't. But worry not, the past, it doesn't matter what happened in the past and what happened in our childhood and our schooling. That's why you have me here. And we have the episode of Money with Money. Okay, so today I want to talk about a concept that properly, it changed my life in a very positive way. And that the topic for today is understanding my money personality and how can I spend as much as I want, guilt-free, and still have a budget. Yep, it all starts with the money personality. But before I go into the detail, I want to share a little bit about why I think this is important. So I'll start with the macro level. As you know, I work in FinTech and I've worked in financial services for all of my career. So of course, I like data points that tell me that this is important, right? So I went online and I did some research, specifically on the UK. And what I found is fascinating in the wrong way. It's impressive, actually. And this is research done in 2020, so this is recent. So in the UK, 10% of people do not have any savings. In the UK, about 1/3 of the adult population have less than £600 on savings. That's less than $800. And about 41% don't have enough to live for 1 month without income. Wow, think about it, 40% of the population cannot survive if they lose their job and cannot be with a job for more than 1 month. Of course, that's what the state is for, and then they provide all the support, but that's not the point. We don't want to be dependent on a third party. And the average person saving is £6,757, which, if you think about it, it's probably what a family survives on, and that would give them less than 3 months. So it's not only that I get excited about money personality and I add a little bit of fun, a little bit of energy and all that stuff, but this is a reality. This is a problem that we have as a society, and I don't think it's the UK only problem. This is a worldwide problem. I just didn't take the time to go into each country and find the statistics, but we know it is an issue. So that's at the macro level. That's why it's important that we do the work so that we don't become one more statistic. On the other hand, if we want to make it less dark, Uh, Knowing your money personality will have a direct impact in your career and your business. And let me expand on that. If you are a business owner, you are either trying to start a business or you are growing your business will go as far as you as a business owner can go in terms of your personal development. And personal finances and managing our money, it's a huge bit when it comes to managing a business. So if you are the CEO of this business, it's not like you put a different brain to the one that you carry on your day to day. So you use the same self and the same brain and the same subconscious programming in your life that you do in your business. So it's super important that you are aware of these money personalities. On the other hand, if you are, if you're not a business owner but you have your career, one of the complaints that I hear all the time from a lot of people, doesn't matter which gender, which nationality, which industry, most of us, we feel that our employer doesn't pay us enough and we need a raise and blah 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 blah. Yes, I get that. It's practical stuff, and yes, we do, and it's a problem, right? However, many of us are chasing an increase. Many of us are chasing, are blaming someone else that our money doesn't, it's not enough for our expenses. However, what only few people do is they stop and analyze what's their relationship with money, because doesn't matter how much money I make, if I spend it all, I will always want more, and I will blame it on my employer that he's not paying me enough, because it's a pattern that I have been carrying with me all of my life. So it is super important that we start understanding what's our money personality and our relationship with money. And I'm going to split this topic, or this question that is like, how can I spend as much as I want guilt-free and still have a budget? I'm going to split it into episodes. The first one, it's going to be mindset and self-awareness, and the other one, it's going to be the practical stuff. And in today's episode, I want to focus on the mindset as such and the relationship with money as such, being just like aware of this concept and this framework. And the reason why I want to do that is because our reality is just a reflection of what's going on inside. Let me repeat that. Our reality is just a reflection of what's going on inside. Therefore, if we don't know what's going on inside, we're just creating our reality in a subconscious manner. So what I want us to do is to shed some light into that subconscious, so that then we can create the reality that we want in a more deliberate manner. Okie dokie. So that is my blurb introduction for today. And now let's get started. Let's get into it. What's my money personality? How can I spend as much as I want, guilt-free, and still have a budget? That's a great question, and I wish I could have asked myself this 20 years ago. We all did, right? But actually, no, I did ask myself this question about 10 years ago. And it is a very, very simple method that has helped me massively be in control of my finances and properly spend on anything that I want, yet still feel responsible and have this budget. Okie dokie. So, what I want you to do is to create a conscious relationship with money. So, how do we do that? The first important thing is my mindset, my self-image, my beliefs shape my behavior. And that's like the first concept that I want all of us to understand and to have like a common baseline. Exactly. That it's like mindset, self-image, beliefs, they shape our behavior. So if I just give you a bunch of tools and frameworks to implement on how to manage your money, it doesn't matter how many tools I give you. If you don't focus on your mindset, then the tool on its own will not help you as much as it should in a long-term, scalable, repeatable, long-term, I said long-term again, way. Okay, so now you're thinking, Monica, okay, I get it, but how do I build a conscious relationship with money? And how do I do this without spending years in therapy or coaching, right? So that's where I come in. Woo! And we make these super easy peasy. So, as you know, I've been to lots of seminars and coaching and all these beautiful things. And this is a framework that I learned from Harv Eker from the Millionaire Mind Intensive. I went to his program like twice at least, back in London. And the important bit is to be aware of these personality types, so that then once we go into the planning and the budgeting and the practical stuff, once we get into the Excel and the numbers, then you can customize all those things based on your personality, like money personality. So Harv Eker basically shares, he talks about 4 money personality types: the saver, the spender, the avoider, and the money monk. And these are based on research. This is not just like he came up with that. These are based on research done by Olivia Mellan, and she does about six types. But what I like about Harv Eker's methodology, it's just very 4 simple ones, and it's easy to identify with them. And another reason why it's important for you to know if you're a saver, a spender, an avoider, or a money monk is, in relationships, many times we have money arguments. And many times it could be that the argument is not because of the money as such, but because we have different money personas or different money personalities, and they clash. Especially if one of us is a saver and the other one is a spender, or the other one is an avoider. Can you see how that works? If I want to go and spend, but my partner wants to go and save. So this framework not only will help you with your personal finances and your business, but also with your love and your family life. Okie dokie, so let's go through each of them in more detail. Let's start with the spender. It's very easy. What I like about this framework is that the title tells us everything. So the spender, we like to spend our money. I used to be a spender, now I am a recovered spender, because I have my spreadsheet that helps me with that. And that's what I'm going to share in the next episode. But anyways, the spenders, we like buying things either for ourselves or for others, and there's this feeling of just living in the moment. You only live once. Let's create experiences. Let's not save that much. Money is to be enjoyed, and many times we don't know how to prioritize properly because we get carried away, and many times we end up in debt. And that's where being a spender becomes dangerous, because then we overspend. Being a conscious spender, it's okay. Being an overspender over time will get you in debt, will get you in trouble, basically. So that's very shortly what's the spender. Then we have the savers. The savers, they want to hold on to their money. They are super organized. This is the friend that has like a super good spreadsheet and they know where to put their investments. Like they have a very controlled approach towards money that sometimes we're the spenders were like kind of jealous because like they are on top of their money. But for them, financial security is important. However, of course, similar to the spender, when you take the saver into the extreme, then that's when the others start seeing them as like, oh, he or she is a little bit stingy, like they are focused a little bit too much on saving. So taking things to the extreme is always kind of not healthy. Okay, personality number 3. This is the avoider. The avoider basically tries not to think or do anything with their finances. So the avoider is the one that may forget to pay the bills. They don't have a retirement plan, and it's not because they don't know how to. It's just because it feels heavy. It feels heavy to work on your finances, and you just like try to put it on the side. Things will work out, and you just avoid working on your money. Finally, we have the money monk. That one I found it very interesting, the title. But the money monk is basically someone who believes that having a lot of money doesn't feel right. And they don't want to have a lot of money because they are conscious that other people don't have a lot of money. So it's kind of like they have like this conflict within themselves. They don't want to be perceived as greedy, and it doesn't feel comfortable with them, this idea of building a lot of wealth. And many times it can be kind of conflicting with their spiritual values, like the giving. So it's more of they are not savers as such, they are not spenders. They are not necessarily avoiders, but they don't want to grow their money because there's an element of guilt. So these are the 4 personality types when it comes to money. So I want you to spend some time and see if you identify with any of these categories. For me, it was very easy to know since the very beginning that I'm a spender by nature. Then I have to control myself, and now I'm more of a hybrid between the saver and the spender. But my natural tendency is to be a spender. And the reason why I want you to ponder a little bit on which is the personality type that you resonate with the most is because it's important for you to, as you go about in your day, like to be a little bit more self-aware. If you are a spender, it's like, think of those times where you've been like, oh yeah, I'll use a credit card, oh yeah, and you are not really thinking of the future and growing your wealth because you're not saving enough. And that's where you can become one of the statistics that I talked about at the beginning of the program, of the episode. Then, if you are a saver, ask yourself, are you saving too much? Are you being a little bit stingy? Are you not enjoying your money as much as you could have to? Because at the end of the day, like, we're not going to take anything with us, right? We're all going to die. So we might as well enjoy our money. So savers, take a little bit of the spender's personality, and it's just like be a little bit more aware of what you're doing. Avoiders, for those of you that you're like, I don't want to work on my finances, it's heavy, it's difficult, I never do it, like the spreadsheet is hard, even like these apps, like I just don't want to do it. It's important to just recognize that part of you and accept, and see yourself in the mirror and say, oh yeah, I'm avoiding the money conversation, because we all know that the money conversation is important. So just by you looking at yourself in the mirror and acknowledging that you're avoiding it, you're making a great step. And the money monks among us that believe that building wealth is not good, or you feel guilty about having too much and being others around you that don't have enough, I invite you to challenge that belief and instead think about, hey, what if you were to have a lot more money, and by having a lot more money, you're going to be able to give it away and help people who don't have that much money. So all of us have like very specific questions and sides that we can start exploring. And the purpose of this episode is just to bring awareness on the 4 money personalities. In the next one, we'll get more into the practical side of answering this question. And what I don't have top of my mind is I don't have numbers on which percentage of the population falls in each of the categories. But my assumption is that definitely not a large percentage of us fall within the savers category. Otherwise, I think we could all be like financially secure, and we're going to have our pension sorted, and we're going to have more than 6 months in savings in case something goes wrong, blah, 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 blah. So my assumption is not many of us are in the savers category, and assumption is that quite a lot of us are in the spender category, e.g. we are in debt, or the avoider category, e.g. we're not really looking after our finances. So if you still don't know, like top of your mind, which one are you, what I'll do is I'll drop a link in the comments on the description of the podcast, and it's a link to a quiz from Olivia Mellan, the woman who basically did all the research behind these categories. And then if you go through the quiz, it's just 20 questions, and then you'll find out which is your category. Again, she does 6 categories, but it will give you like good information. So that's it for today. We started like very high energy, bubbly, woo, and then I think like this is like a very important topic. So I could even feel the change in energy. So it's okay to be in any of those categories. It's just a money personality. There is no judgment, just acceptance and celebrating that we learned something new today. So please remember to send me your questions and comments, to tap on follow on the podcast so that then you can listen to the next episodes. And most importantly, remember to celebrate you for being you, and celebrate you for being more conscious about your relationship with money. And lastly, I just started a Telegram channel, so I want to invite you to join. I'll also drop the link in the description in the podcast, and I'll see you next week, where I'll cover the practical side of the question of how can I spend as much as I want guilt-free and with a budget. And I'll go with you through a system that I learned again from Mr. Harv Eker from the Millionaire Mind Intensive. And it's system and a budgeting tool with a spreadsheet that I've been using for years, and I can share that with you. And last but not least, just a little note that this is not financial advice. It does not represent any of the companies that I've worked with, and it is just my opinion. So hope it served you in a little or a big way. Hope it served you, and sending you a big hug, have a wonderful week and sending you tons of good energy and happy vibes. Have an amazing week and see you next week. Bye.